little bit of Spanish guitar. Always think that personally is lovely. This is my time. Haven't really truly opened the show yet. But I'm going to get my little pipety pipe ready. Got 2 songs for y'all to listen to today. Other than the one that we're currently listening to. This would be El Padrino by the Gypsies. I gotta tell you, you want to hear some great guitar work? Spanish guitar. It's upbeat. It's lively. It moves very well. I find the music to be excellent. You hardly ever hear anything but guitar. Maybe a little bit of drums or some sort of percussion. It's always something worth listening to. I found this station on Pandora. Now we're going to Morea on the Gypsy Kings. But while I'm typing, I'm going to say happy birthday to John and Sean Lennon. And with that, we're going to switch music. Wow. You're not going to let me play that song. Alright. You're not going to let me play that song either. Alright. Nice. I'll just skip through till I find them. If I can even find them. Anyways, here we go. Y'all enjoy some music while I get us loaded up. unable to give the musics that I wish I could. If the Beatles decide to block, I'm okay with that. That was a Spanish guitar version of Imagine. If you don't like Spanish guitar, I'm sorry. If you have to have words to your music to really enjoy it, I'm sorry. Quite honestly, that's a song I don't really much enjoy. It preaches the greatness of the Marxist communist nation. And hey, I'm on 3 minutes early. As of right now, it's 3 minutes early. So, y'all are welcome to join me. Love for some people to show up. Can't guarantee it's going to happen. Let's see what else we can find on Pandora while I'm waiting. Why not? Never mind. I got a person. I got an actual person. Howdy. I'm faux Skip and not even close to Steph, so welcome. Welcome to also not El Paso. Howdy, not sure who you are. Come on in, sit down, talk. Ah, Phil. It is Phil from the Briar Report. All right, adjusting that. Yeah, Studio Voodoo is going to be spending a little time with y'all instead of Steph and Skip today. They decided that it's going to be a day off. Steph had her birthday. It was yesterday. If you're going to come in, please, because I want them to watch this later. I want everybody who shows up to wish Steph a happy birthday. Yes, even you. I want you to wish Steph a happy birthday because I want them to be able to watch this later and realize how much we all love Steph and Skip. I even went out of my way to make sure to play Beatles music, Spanish guitar version, but still Beatles music, just for Steph. It's the least we can do while I'm filling in. That is PHILING, as in Phil from Briar Report. Been working out in the yard, and I'm gonna say it. My allergies are kicking my hind portions. I can't help it. I am going to end up touching my nose. So, you know all that? Y'all kept telling Martin, hey, you're touching your face? I can take it. It is not the cat. It is honestly, it's the oak trees. The cooler weather last week has started them dropping a certain amount of pollen or something. And I'll be lucky if I live through a month without chewing through a couple of bottles of Allegra. Oh well. If it were the cat, well, it would be the cat, no big deal. I got 3 of them, but I'm not allergic to cats. my God. So Phil, how are you doing this fine, I guess for you and me it's afternoon. Officially for me it is afternoon. It is 12:01 in Houston. This being the Steph and Skip show. Do they call their show a certain name? I would use it. I always just, as soon as it pops on, I hit the let's go button. I stopped looking to see if they've named their channel or their show. It's a great show. Normally it's filled up full of music. They're really nice people. Hopefully we can put on a really nice show for this particular day while they're not even here. But again, I'm hoping that they get to watch it tomorrow or later this evening, and they can laugh at how bad of a host for their show I really am. Steph, Skip, we love you. Don't stay on vacation the way Forrest Gump's daddy went on vacation. So for anybody who goes back to watch the beginning, I did throw in a little Spanish guitar at the very beginning and a small little bit of one of those is a Beatles song. No words. Hopefully I'm not blocked out by the Beatles. The song was Imagine. I like it better on Spanish guitar than I like it with the words. But that's because it's a beautiful melody. Whereas with the words it seems communist. Sorry. My take on it. I know Phil's been here. I know I've got two up. Howdy and hello. Glad to have you in. Anybody got anything they want to talk about? If not, I'm just going to start rambling again. And watching squirrels. Got the guy next door, One Direction, puts out peanuts. And the squirrels collect them from his yard and run over into my yard and bury them. So much fun. Saturday with the Cains? Sounds great to me. Welcome all to Saturday with the Cains. 5 minutes after 12 here in the Houston area. So for me it's good afternoon. For them it would still be good morning. All the way on the other side of Texas from me, they are in a completely different time zone. Honestly, no. As of yet, I have not sampled the latest from the Middle Earth sampler. I was planning on doing that on Monday. I believe I'm going to be having a 2 review on the Voodoo Review by way of I will be sampling a certain reviewable blend by the Country Squire. That's it, the Country Squire. there it would be. I would blow the name right off the bat. So if you're watching through my blog, you will see the Country Squire Green Dragon. Gotta make sure my phone doesn't run out of power. Ah, there we go. And we will also be seeing about some Sutliff Sobrani or Balkan Sobrani match from Sutliff. Yes, I saw that also. It came across Twitter that a certain program known as Snapshot, which was started by the Breyer Report on February 20th of 2019, I believe. So over a year now. And Christie's, makers of American Heritage, which the Voodoo Review actually reviewed, took an excerpt from that particular review and put it on their website as a statement of fact. Anything but pumpkin spice, Phil. Anything but pumpkin spice. Watching the Red River Showdown. Watching Texas, Oklahoma. I'm guessing football. It should be from the Cotton Bowl in Dallas, which means neither team has home field advantage. But with COVID, I'm not sure. Howdy, Boris. I would say it's probably Huva Ilta for you right now. I can't guarantee that it's actually appropriate. I believe that's Finnish for good afternoon. One of these days I'm just going to get good day, because I think that'll work better. Let's see. If I was to really go after anything from Snapshot. So it is Huva Ilta, because it's 8 p.m. there for Boris. He's in Finland. So, of course, I did try to learn a little Finnish so that I can make him feel a little bit more welcome every time he shows up on my channel, which is quite often. It's rather impressive that my following is worldwide. Stole a bowl from your son's stash of Green Dragon when we borrowed his truck or something. It is very good. Wow. That is at least 2 people right now telling me that I'm missing out already because I haven't dug into my stash. Now, I do believe that trying to do 2 full blends in a day, that's 8 pipes for me. That is a lot of smoking. So I might finish a second one on Tuesday. I definitely think that everybody who is taking part of the blend tasting club featuring the Middle Earth blends by the Country Squire, started by, well, I know it's Padre Piper. And is it Mark VV, also known as the Briar Bothy? I'm not sure if that's the truth on that. But I know Padre Piper and Mark kind of got together with the Country Squire and got this set up with some help from Phil. That's part of the reason why if you go to the Country Squire and you inquire about this, they're going to tell you it's the Briar Report TV, the BRTV sampler pack. Now, unfortunately for anybody who's listening to this and going, oh, that sounds great, you're 4 months behind, being that we are already in the 4th month. This will end in December with the final one being King's Foil. This month is, of course, Green Dragon, as everybody can see. Tell you what, just put your money down on it, get a sampler pack. I've tasted 3 of them, have not been disappointed yet. What more do you want to know? It's great tobacco. You're probably going to go back to them. You're probably going to see them again. Oh yeah, it's not an expensive price for, what is it, 6 ounces? My opinion, they've also gone a little heavy, at least on mine. So where it might say it's 6 ounces, I think I got closer to 8 ounces total tobacco. I'm not guaranteeing that. Maybe my unit of measure is a little bit off, where I'm just kind of weighing it in my hand. But I know about what an ounce is supposed to feel like. And this felt a little bit heavy. Now, they're not giving a whole lot of extra. If you're asking me, are they giving extra? But I'm saying for my particular sample, total out of 6 bags, it felt pretty close to 8 ounces. Now, if we throw the bag weight in there, maybe we're a total of 1 ounce over across 6 bags. That's not very much. But the value alone is worth it. And the tobaccos that they're distributing are excellent quality. Oh, okay. Well, if your kid is emptying out your liquor cabinet, then yeah, his stack of smoke can definitely be sampled. I'm kind of lucky. My son doesn't much care for alcohol. Not that he'll have a little bit every once in a while, but he just doesn't much care for beer, doesn't much care for hard alcohol, doesn't much like wine. That's fine. I don't mind that at all. But if he were slurping down my booze, I probably would be saying, hey, wait a second. Oh, come on, Phil. 12-year-olds are not supposed to be ordering their tobacco online and sampling from the 21-year-old scotch. It's just not supposed to happen. So yesterday, we got asked a question through the live feeds, and it seemed to go through several live feeds. If you had to go on a road trip with 5 YTPC presenters, which 5 would it be? Now, they narrowed it down and said, oh, you're going to go to Ozfest. But if you don't particularly care for Ozfest, pick anything. There's plenty enough YTPC presenters that, quite literally, we were starting to get to the point where we were like, you know what? We need it to be a tour bus, because 5 is too difficult to just pick. Oh no, Phil, you are definitely in my 5. Designated driver, baby. I'm smart enough to pick someone who doesn't drink. If that means I've got to give you a big cooler out in the car with plenty of snacks and food and all that other stuff, and a pound of tobacco so I know that you'll still be there when we get back, I would be willing. Designated drivers to large music festivals like that? Oh, no. Phil, don't worry about that. I've got a Garmin. It knows every road. It doesn't know the back roads, but it knows all the major roads. It can at least get us there. But she's very mouthy, I'm going to tell you. I call her Betty. Backseat Betty. She's the backseat drivingest fool I've ever met. But yes, so give it a thought. Give it a thought. Come up with your 5. Your Mount Rushmore plus 1. We started coming up with the fact that each vehicle could have a different genre. Eventually we got to the point where it was like, you know what? Oh yeah, well see, if Beans shows up, I'm only asking him to bring coffee. If he chooses to bring booze and tobacco, I'm really good with that. Now, if booze and tobacco are in your wheelhouse and what you really, really want, I would suggest Martin at Over a Pipe. Martin's got tobacco and booze. Now, when it was Ozfest, of course, almost everybody showed up and said Chad, and pretty much everybody said Eddie Gray. It's going to be hard to replace those in anybody's 5. Just it is what it is. Ron, I don't blame you. Overexcited dogs are Well, yeah, they just are. If I brought Bill anywhere, it would be to the Texas Cigar Festival. Because Bill's a cigar fan. And if I'm going to have somebody who needs to have all of it, that's an event worth going to. Or, let's say the Big Smoke, either in Vegas or in Miami. Yeah. What do you mean, think? I know he's at the cigar shop right now. It's afternoon. Cigar shops are open. He's got to get his white owls for the week. I shall pay dearly for that comment, I'm sure. Bill, wherever you are, we love you, bud. You just stay surly and we appreciate it. Oh, yeah. Now, see, if I was bringing cigars, I would definitely be having an issue because trying to pick a cigar for everybody is difficult unless I know exactly what your palate is. Now, once I've learned your palate, I can dial you into the perfect cigar for you. Factory seconds? Oh no, what he should be getting is those Drew Estate factory smokes. Less expensive and actually quite a decent smoke for the price. Am I going to say it's the best smoke you've ever had? No. But when you consider that they're about $1 a stick, yes. You are working on cigar smoking on a budget, the Drew Estates factory smoke is probably going to be your #1 pick once you figure out which one you like. They even have a sweet one for those people that just have to have sugary sticks. Phil has a question. You've said you've switched to Lanceros recently. Are there any Lanceros you've tried and really liked? This would be an interesting question. Something that I would really like. Oh, I'm about 35 minutes in on this broadcast, so I'd like to remind everybody, howdy, welcome to the Steph and Skip on Saturday show. I'm your host, Voodoo, filling in for Steph and Skip as they're on vacation, and they should be back next week. Unless, of course, they take the Forrest Gump daddy vacation, and then they're never coming back. And that's going to be problematic because I'm not sure I can fill in for them every week. I'm just doing my best. Also, I would like for everybody to take this moment and wish Steph a happy birthday. It is her birthday weekend, her birthday being yesterday. And it would be nice that they can come back, see that everybody wished them a happy birthday, and they feel good about leaving their show in, well, appreciative hands. Not sure about good. They're big. Not sure about good. Now, Boris, I definitely said if we're going into the European market for any kind of a road trip, you're in my 5. I always think if you're going to a specific location, try to get a local. They know where to go, where's safe to eat, where's a good place to get gas, where you're not going to get harassed just for being there. Some of these things we as Americans don't even consider. I've been overseas. There's some places you just don't go. As an American, you don't know this. And then you show up. And then you find that you're in all kind of trouble because of it. Oh yeah, the Joya de Nicaragua Antaño 1970 Lancero. Made by Drew Estates. That is a Drew Estates brand. At some point, go find the... Oh, I forgot the name. I know it's got the number 40 in it. But it's made also by Drew Estates. And let's see, there is the Rat lineup. It's called Rat. Don't worry about it. There's no actual mouse type object rolled up in it. But Ratzilla and the Velvet Rat have both been excellent. I think you could really, really enjoy those also. Now, they are going to be a little bit more expensive than the Joya de Nicaragua. But if you can get to those, they are pretty good. And of course, as I mentioned, the Skinny Monsters from Tatawahe. I've not really had any of those that have ever been bad. All right. Okay, so Oklahoma is just probably going to get beat by Texas this year. Well, okay. All the pressure is on the Longhorns. Has been ever since they won that last national title with a guy named Vince Young, who proved that he was not going to stick around in the NFL. Best I can tell you. And I live in Texas. I should know. Now, the Series V Lanceros, they are quite good, and you're right. It is difficult for people to stock those. Part of the problem is they normally try to only stock the Melanio Series V. They don't go to just the regular Series V, which, of course, like you said, it's a great stick. Something I would love for you to try at some point also. Forgot about these. If you look at my hat, you will see Southern Draw. Southern Draw makes some Lanceros. If you want a first of the morning type smoke, and you want something light so it doesn't feel like you're just getting tore down, nice, flavorful, I would suggest the Rose of Sharon or the Desert Rose, if you can find it. Both of them are excellent. Now, if you really want something that's just going to really pack some punch, the Jacob's Ladder. As far as Lanceros go, top notch. Really, really surprised at how good those cigars are for as new as the company is. If they had more time under their belt, I would expect this kind of a cigar. But because they are so brand new into the market in comparison, it was shock and awe that their cigars are really as good as they are. And I have always said, if Maduro smokers were told they are only allowed to smoke Connecticut's from now on, Rose of Sharon or the Desert Rose is exactly what they're going to go after. Because as far as Connecticut goes, you're expecting them to be light and almost flavorless. These are not. They are really, really good. And I know that both the Rose of Sharon and the Jacob's Ladder comes in a Lancero size. So it's probably something you might want to look into. Oh, goodness. Okay, so the Drew Estates Factory Smokes. If you can't get them at your local brick and mortar, I know that you can order them on Cigar International and on JR Cigars. Cigar International is, of course, Cigar International. JR Cigars is Altadis, which is their only true competitor. So you're going to select from either the number 1 or the number 2 largest cigar retailers in the world. They know what they're doing. These cigars, I'm telling you right now, when I saw all the factory seconds or factory throwouts or this, that, the other, when those prices started going up in the shop I was working at, I started looking for what can I bring my customers so that it's still a decent stick, but it's in that price range that they're comfortable paying. Because some of those bundle cigars got within $2 or $3 of an actual box of cigars. Well, when you're talking that the prices have gone up so much that it's within $2 or $3 of an actual great cigar, who's going to keep buying those factory seconds? Nobody. Nobody's going to buy those. So I set about looking for them and came across the Drew Estates Factory Smokes. Comes in a bundle. There's no box. It's just a plastic wrapped. And I tried one, and the first one I tried was a Connecticut, and it was okay. It was decent. Steph and Skip, hey, glad you could join us for your show. I'm trying to get everybody to say happy birthday to Steph now, so I want y'all to be able to watch it later. Yes, that's correct, Phil. You can get... Now, here's one thing. The brick that shows up is 25 smokes. So you're paying $36 for 25 smokes. When I tell you it's about $1 a smoke, I mean it's about $1 a smoke. It's a little bit more than that, but it's a crazy good cigar for impossibly cheap. Um, and if you're really, really trying to have a decent cigar for a not budget-breaking process, I can't recommend a better cigar. I've tried them all. I couldn't find one. I couldn't find one that was better. It was better, in my opinion, than the factory throwouts. It was better, in my opinion, than the... there's one by Perdomo that is like Quorum or something like that. Okay, but is that a sale price for $39.99 for 50? It's actually a damn good price for 50 cigars. But if they're like a 25, 30-minute smoke, it kind of comes back the other direction, in my opinion. $38% off. Okay, so there is an actual discount going on for that specific price and that specific product. As Phil has mentioned, you should also check out Famous Smoke Shop. They run deals all the time, and they are a sponsor of the BRTV, which helps keep the lights on. So yeah, we kind of need to look at them something serious also. Oh my goodness. Even better, just in case, there it is. Hard Crackers has mentioned ZZ Top, and look at that shirt that I'm wearing. That's right at about 49 minutes in, Steph and Skip, just in case you're wanting to see that particular thing and nothing else. At Phil, yes, my father does make some Lanceros. Quite honestly, I have not really been impressed with the Lanceros from my father. And that has nothing to do with the wet palate that I have, just I didn't much care for them in comparison to some of the other ones that are available on the market. Does that mean that they're not good? No, that does not mean they're not good. That just means that my personal taste and what I felt was a decent value for my personal taste, their product did not match what I was hoping it would be. Almost every cigar maker out there makes a Lancero of some sort, because it is technically the longest, most flavorful stick. Wrapper is closer to the center, you're going to get more flavor. That's just all there is to it. You get most of the flavor of any cigar you smoke from the wrapper. So the closer to the middle, the closer it is to your mouth, the more flavor you're going to get. And because you're only going to get about 5% of your flavor from the filler, the less filler you have, the less wasted flavor that you're going to be getting. So you get into these big 60 ring gauges, they're not going to have as much flavor as a thinner ring gauge. Not that I can do much about that. That's the truth about cigars. I wish that my father made a La Bijou Lancero. The La Bijou lineup for my father is exceptional. Can't recommend that enough. And the Los Antilles, I've always liked that lineup. And I forget which of their cigars that I tried that was a Lancero. I just, like I said, it didn't hit me right. And I know it came out of a reputable shop with a very good humidor, so it wasn't the shop's fault for not having good product. It was just, it didn't hit me right. And not all cigars are going to hit somebody just right. If I had people coming into my shop and they were saying, hey, I don't even know about cigars, but I'm buying a cigar for somebody, almost always I took them to Padron. If you smoke a Padron on the West Coast in the morning and on the East Coast in the afternoon and on the Third Coast in the evening, it's going to taste like the exact same Padron, and you bought them in 3 different shops. They are very exacting about what they are going to accept for a place to even have their shop. They send one of their factory people somewhere in the ownership group to your shop if you're applying, saying, hey, I want to carry Padron. They send somebody to your shop so that they can say, hey, this is really what I need to know about you, and then they say yes or no. It's kind of crazy, but yeah. The Don Pepin original blue edition, yes. The Don Pepin, I believe, is the Lancero I tried. The problem with that particular one is they have a Toro Gordo that is, it's a big honkin' cigar is what it is, but it's, oh no, it's not Toro Gordo, it's something Grande. I mean, I would know it if I heard it, but I'm losing where exactly it is. So yeah, the of the Don Pepins, really great. La Bijou, which if you're watching, Boris the Piper typed out how to spell Bijou. Just put a L-A, capital L's, lowercase a in front of it. Judge, often called the Judge. That'll be in a brown box. That lineup is very decent. And the Flor de las Antilles, one of my more favored of the My Father lineup. You're not going to get a bad cigar out of them. I didn't like the Lancero as much as I thought I would have. Ben Milban, that was oh man, that would have been completely fun, Ron. So his friends, the late Smiling Bob Lewis and his goddaughter Rachel, I'm going to try and not mess up this name, Ammons, were in the Ben Miller band that went on tour opening for ZZ Top in the US and Europe the year before last. Nice. That would have been a really fun tour to go on with them. I believe it was put on hold before they finished up their dates because of the COVID. Okay, Boris, yes, I agree with you completely. The Camacho Connecticut Distillery Edition is actually pretty tasty. That came out because they had a bourbon barrel aged lineup, and it did really well. And then they started in with looking at distilleries, various different distilleries, and they were like, okay, well, let's get this to go with this type of cigar and this to go with that type of cigar. All of those were really exceptional. I think my least favorite was the one in the blue box. That's not to say it wasn't bad, or that, excuse me. That wasn't to say it was bad. That's to say that if I was to line all of their distillery edition cigars up and say this is better than this, then I believe it is the Ecuador. And I don't know what it was that it just didn't, for me, again, it didn't touch that statement of, oh my God, I've got to have this again. Whereas most of the rest of them, I was completely good with, just saying, wow, lots of flavor, the whole concept. I really, really like the concept. Now, if you're wanting some unique and really nice distillery or barrel-aged cigars, the Diesel Whiskey Row is aged in a sherry cask. And as you're going through that, it will bounce back and forth between pepper and the fruit flavors that you would get out of the sherry. And it bounces back and forth the whole way through. It never just sits there on a note so long that you're just like bored with it. It just, hey, all right, you're done with that note. Let's go to the next one. Let's go to the next one. Now, it's really only black pepper and the sherry cask that you're getting, but it's quite good. And the other one that I would suggest definitely looking into is Whiskey Rebellion by Romacraft. Now, all of their cigars are named after famous figures in U.S. history. You will see Washington and Hamilton and Jefferson. And those are the only three that I remember specifically. I know that there are other ones. Those are also barrel aged and really, really nice. Bob and Rach had a band duo called Tyrannosaurus Chicken. I'm game for some chicken. Okay. Rachel just started her solo show with her No Man Band tour when COVID hit. Oh, that's horrible. When you're just starting something out and then everything gets shut down like that, it's really hard to get that kind of funding to go back on with those tours. No, no, no. None of the cigars I just mentioned are actually dipped or infused. They are just aged in the oak or various different other barrels that have already been used to age whatever alcohol was in them. So it does impart some of the flavors, but it's not technically infused. It was just used as an aging process. Infusion is where you've either dipped it or painted it or sprayed it with something else. 17 each at halftime. Texas is not showing up today. Good for OU. Similar to the Seattle Pipe Club blends, the difference between pipe blends and cigars is that you can add the additives in at various different stages in doing pipe blends. Whereas with cigars, you've either got to roll the cigar first or you let the raw leaf sit in these barrels to age. I personally prefer it when the leaves have been put through the drying process and then aged in the barrels. But there are some cigars that are made and then aged in the barrels, but in a humidor that's basically set up like a very large barrel rack. It changes up the flavor a little bit without getting crazy. Well, that's horrible to hear that Texas is having such a problem keeping a hold of the ball. So real quick, before the show gets over, y'all remember one last shot? Happy birthday to Steph. I'm not ending directly at 1 o'clock, but I do want y'all to have that opportunity. I also would like to remind y'all that later today, I believe Mike from Briar Blues is still filling in for Simon. Definitely want to look for that. And just in case, I'm thinking about putting in a pop-up pre-party for Mike at Briar Blues, and possibly one of the rare opportunities for a post party directly following Mike's show for Simon. And that would be London Calling with Simon. Now, I do know that Simon was rearranging his guitar, rearranging his whole shop, and I do know that just before Steph and Skip's show, I saw that our friend Mike from Briar Blues was running some tests just to make sure that his setup was good. Oh, okay. Cain Rod is doing a monthly GAW live in about 2 hours. And oh my God, okay. Unfortunately, life has caught up with me. The wife is texting me, telling me that my time with y'all is getting cut just slightly short. Because unfortunately, life happens for us all. So I'm going to be forced to go so that I don't get in trouble and have to hitchhike my way all the way to Dallas. Don't want to go to Dallas. Oh, the Dracula Tamper is the prize this time. Okay. Nice. Thanks, Boris, for being here. I appreciate all the extra information. Ron Hardcrackers, I appreciate you showing up, definitely. Steph and Skip, I know it's your show. Thank you for showing up anyways. Phil, my pleasure to fill in today. So it was also my pleasure to have Phil on in the show. The one or two lurkers that might have been on that I missed, or people that I didn't mention, I apologize. Please come back to the Steph and Skip show next week. I believe they should be back. Don't want this to be a normal thing where I fill in for them. Please let them know how much you appreciate them, as I know that I do. I find their show to be lively and very entertaining, and I'm not as good as the two of them together. Please come back later. Hope to be doing a pre-show for and a post-show for Mike with Briar Blues, filling in for Simon. Sorry about getting this into cigars as much as I did. I will make sure to have a little bit more pipe-centric content for next time that I have to fill in. Thank you very much, and so that I can get out of here before I get in trouble. As always, long lives, big bowls, and long ashes. Y'all take care, and I'll see you soon. Again, love you, Steph and Skip. Y'all be careful out there.